welcome to the Living Magically podcast. And I am your host, Michelle Orwick, or some of you know me as Magical Michelle. And what a magical week we actually have coming up currently. And you can just ignore that. Me and the cat just had a little spill. I do have the most magical kitty, Joy. Some of you know her from her pictures. And she around my house calls it helping. So anyway, this is quite the week. It's November 20th, 2023. And I cannot believe that we are already at the end of the year. And what is happening is astrologically, most of us are already thinking about next year. We are in the November season, which is just the last couple days. This week's astrology hits the last couple days of Scorpio season. So right now, if you're watching this live on Monday, on the 20th, you're getting Scorpio in Pisces. That's going to be true through the 21st as well. And this is going to be about internal reflection. And actually, we're really good with this combination. It's a very watery combination. You know, sun is in a water sign, moon is in a water sign. We're going to be feeling all the feels. And that's not a bad thing for Thanksgiving week. And so we're going to look at self-reflection for a couple days before we get into family and busy times with our friends and family. The good news is we move into Sagittarius this week on the 22nd. And Sagittarius season is that gregarious outward motion. So if you're feeling on Monday, Tuesday, and early part of Wednesday, like a little bit of alone time before you're in the outward focus of other people time, that's why. And what I'm going to say about this is it's a great time to reflect on making peace in your life. So yes, it is a Thanksgiving theme this week, and I'm going to ask, it's going to be a major theme throughout all of 24 to have you start seeing where peace becomes your priority. And what I mean is, peace is an inside job at this point. How do you start finding peace and making peace inside of you? Before you can have peace in your world, you have to have peace with yourself. And that might mean doing a little bit of acceptance work. That might mean doing a little bit of forgiveness work. And so really, to move forward and to get anything we want, we have to start where we are. I'm here now. And that's such a powerful tool. And it also allows you to eliminate that which you don't want going forward. So we're not necessarily asking you to give up something, but we are asking astrologically for you to choose internal authority and to get right with your own heart and your own space. So when you're starting to choose peace, this actually creates a vibrational state around you. If you're at peace, the people around you will start feeling the field of peace. So if you're coming from a place of love, you're coming from a place of peace, you're coming from a place of compassion, and you're coming from a place of love and acceptance and understanding, people are going to respond to that. It's also important, since there is so much outer chaos in the world, that you become your own internal organization. And what I mean for this is we're starting to learn regulation, self-regulation for how do you decide what your emotions are instead of reacting so much to what another person's emotions are. And as we're going into the holiday season, this becomes such a gift. If you can regulate your own emotions instead of react to something someone says, something someone does, something someone didn't say, or something someone didn't do. Then you start having your own inner peace. Just be impeccable with your own word. Be impeccable with your own thought, and know that your own personal authenticity and integrity is all that really matters here. I know we want approval. I know we want to be included and accepted and have someone outside of us to make us feel worthy. But here, the astrology is asking us to feel that worth internally before we start interacting with other people. And therefore, letting them be the mirror to their own situation and not reflecting slash projecting onto us. So this is the call to action. This is the gift of this season. Be present with yourself. Get really, really right with your self-organization on these couple of days before Thanksgiving, before you start going out into the world and spending time with other people. That being said, November 22nd, right before the Thanksgiving holiday, we move into Sagittarius, which is a gregarious sign. It's a fire sign. It's social. It's fun. It's happy. So we might have been feeling a little bit of a dark space. Scorpio season tends to have people go dipping down into the inner spiral. Sagittarius season takes us out, sees what there is to be thankful for. It sees what there is to share. And I look forward to seeing what each of you do for your gratitude practice. It's an incredible time to really look at how far your harvest has come, all the bounty that you have. Even if you have less than you had another year, you are still more bountiful than not having. So look at what you do have over this week, and be really, it's the season of planning for what you're going to create. It's a very creative energy. As again, I still feel like we're inward, and yet as we're sharing our inward, this could be a time for partnering with people, friends, family, even colleagues and coworkers, to come up with new ideas and new expressions for 2024. It's going to be an interesting year because we do have some profound astrological pieces hitting right at January 1st of 2024, which we'll talk about next month. But right now, I want you to focus on this exact moment. There is a presence in the astrology, being present. And when we're planning for the future, don't plan. Right now, it's not about planning too far ahead. It's about that early part of 2024, not necessarily everything you're going to do in 2024. It's how you're going to start, what systems that you're going to do, what good habits are you going to integrate. And a lot of times we say we're going to wait to integrate our new habits in the new year. And I'm going to encourage you. The astrology of December actually encourages you to put good systems in place even now. And that might mean you take a break on a holiday or at a party over the month of December to have a drink or a piece of pie or something along those lines that you wouldn't normally have. But even if you're making just better choices, this is a great time to start forming the habits and the systems that are going to support you well into your future. So it's actually, even though we always like to have that health and wellness bit or the new year, new you in January, I actually see the astrology as saying, why wait? Now is as good a time as any to put things you want to be happening into play instead of saying, well, I will do it on Monday or I will do it in January, why not do it today or even tomorrow? But you know what they say about tomorrow? Tomorrow never comes. So this astrology says, do it now. Choose peace in your heart. Choose peace in your environment. Choose love, compassion, and peace in your priority. And it also says, choose, even if it's a little out of your comfort zone, to start creating the habits that win the game of life for you. Even if it means that you're creating a little bit more devotion or discipline toward processes and plans, and you're just literally starting now. Why wait? Make it an early holiday present to yourself. Just start treating your life like a sacred temple, your home like a temple, your body like a temple, your life like an interactive temple experience where every person you see is divine, and you're in gratitude for that expression of them, recognizing them as divine, recognizing yourself as divine. If you did that, this holiday season will be the most beautiful and profound you possibly could ever have. So it's a little bit more about the energy of Thanksgiving and expression, community, and communal conversation. I would definitely say that this entire holiday season, the next 6 weeks, is about expressing your love, expressing your acceptance. And if there's been somebody you want to say you're proud of them, or if there's somebody that you've been wanting to say you're grateful for them, don't assume that they know that. Even if you do say it all the time, say it again. You cannot tell someone how worthy they are, how good enough they are, how proud you are of them, how much you appreciate them, how much you're thankful for them, how much you're grateful for them, what they do, who they are. You can never say it too many times. So if I were to give you one piece of advice going into this next 6 weeks, be even more demonstrative with your love, your acceptance, your compassion, and whether that's outward or inward, that's going to create a sacred bond with you and the people you care about. And if there are people that can't communicate in that way, and you're not connecting with in that alignment, they may need to be in a different place in your life. I'm not saying get rid of anybody. I'm just saying like it will show you who is in alignment to spend your time with. And it might be an incredible peacemaking season. So bring in peace. Peace will create joy. Bring in love. That will create acceptance. Bring in compassion. That will create companionship. And it's going to be really fantastic if you do those things. We're starting to get close to Mercury retrogrades, and we're going to have a big fat Mercury retrograde in the middle of December, right over the holidays, and ending December 31st. So it starts its shadow season on Saturday, the 25th. I think it's the 25th. I could be, but it does. The shadow starts this weekend. So I also want you, make sure you put gas in those cars. Make sure you charge up those cell phones and write down your directions. Anything that has to do with travel, because I know there's a lot of travel this week. Be generous with the amount of time you give yourself. Be recharging and buying your computers and things. If you're going to buy a phone or a computer or electronic for the holidays, actually buying it on Black Friday or even as late as this week, I would buy my electronics that I'm gift giving early this year because of that Mercury retrograde. That's just the way I'm not a big proponent of Mercury retrograde is evil or wrong, but it isn't the time I like to buy electronics personally. I think Mercury retrograde has some major gifts, and that is the ability to reconnect, recalibrate, and move in strong, which I think is going to help us greatly for 2024 to have that review period right before we come into such a power-packed astrological year. I'm going to do a 2024 specific podcast sometime in the month of December, and I'll give you my opinion on 2024 then. But in the meantime, what I'm saying here is as we enter Sagittarius season, get right with yourself, make peace your priority, and be in the gratitude section of Thanksgiving. You know that gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for alignment and actually for manifesting. So, whatever you come from as a place of gratitude, you cannot be in lack. You actually can't be in lack and gratitude at the same time. So you can't be in anger and peace at the same time. You can't be in love and compassion and frustration and overwhelm at the same time. So choose these higher aligned emotions, and it's going to shift things for you. And if you're already in the higher emotions, then get clear on what it is you're creating, because choice will move you forward. If you are looking for a little bit of help with that, I have a brand new relationship package coming out this week. And I also have a Align with the Light coaching package that you can get together with me, and I can help you move through some of the negative emotions to align with your higher self. It's also a good time to be doing divination work, and one of my favorite ways to do that is the Akashic Records. So in December, I'm going to be, only once a year do I teach the Akashic Records, and it's going to be in December. So if you're wanting to do a seminar on delving into the Akashic Records and how you can make choices and even do healings through the Akashic Records, I do have a seminar coming up with that. I want to end this week with a little bit of global peace meditation. Every day at 11 o'clock in the morning, usually from 11 a.m. to 11:11, somewhere in there, I tap into the energy of global peace. And so I want you to think about that. I want you to put your hand on your heart, and really it's an invitation. You can do this here with me now, but I invite you to do this anytime, any day, but usually at least once a day. I want you to see the world, your world, the outer world, the political world, to be aligning with peace. And to do that, I want you to close your eyes, and I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths. And as you do that in your visualization, I invite you to see your heart expand. Actually, imagine that it is expanding around you, and that there's a field of love around you, above you and below you, to the right of you, to the left of you, because our terrestrial field is literally 3 feet around us, and that comes from the center of your heart. And so allow yourself to place yourself from your heart into a bubble of light. And now I want you to expand your field. Imagine that that field now encompasses the entire planet. And I want you to feel the expression. I invite that expression of love to move through your cells, to move through your spinal column, to move through your entire body as a whole, and to expand into the entire body of the world. and to expand into the hearts of all the people on this planet and send out love and send out peace and send out unity consciousness and connect to the world's timeline as it is possible to create world peace, inner peace, community peace, love, and the expression of unity consciousness. And as you feel that inside yourself, remember you're anchoring that in, choosing to have peace within and choosing to see the world as a more peaceful place is part of what we're here to do right now. So choose your own peace. Be your own anchor. Allow yourself to fill every ounce of your body, your auric field, and then your connection to the collective consciousness with light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want you to think about all that you are grateful for, all that you already are, all that you're becoming, all that you've always had, all that you will have. I want you to see your needs, every last one of them, including wildest dreams, being met. And I invite you to accept that as already done. In the field, in the frequency, in the energy of vibration. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is, and so it shall be. And I want you to just keep realigning. I invite you, with your own free agency and your choice, to align with peace and to align with love. And yes, it sounds really simple when you're doing it, and it sounds like an easy practice, but when you're in the middle of everything, sometimes everybody has a bad day. So it's just taking your day and realigning to what you really, really want. It is going from the state of overwhelm or frustration or any state for that matter, and just returning to the state of peace and returning to the state of compassion and returning to the state of I am here now, and I choose to anchor that vibration in the world. And so it is, and so it shall be. I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making this podcast such a beautiful thing that I get to experience every Monday with you. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday week and live magically.